In this video, we're going to overview the Workspace and just highlight the tools of the Floriani Creative Express software. And of course, if you watch all of the videos in the training for Floriani Creative Express, then you'll learn in detail how these tools work. But just in general, when you look at the Creative Express software, of course, you have tools that are here that are valuable for people that use a digital cutting machine or have an embroidery machine or just have an interest in playing with photos in our new cool photo play tool. And so up at the top, you've got drop-down menus. However, I will say most of the things that are in those drop-down menus are also highlighted on one of our toolbars, and the reason for that is because we're famous at Floriani for creating software where almost everything that you can do is never more than, really one or two clicks away. It starts with tools that are kind of unique to all software, all Windows programs, like new and open and save. Of course, there's a print preview option where you could create a printable page that it could include all sorts of information about your embroidery designs and your digital cutting files and images as well. Cut, copy, and paste. These are sort of standard tools you'll find in most programs like undo and redo, and Floriani allows unlimited numbers of undos. And so go ahead and click and try the buttons. And then if they don't do what you want, or if you're just trying them to experiment, you can always click undo or just close the design and start a brand new one, because at any moment you can click on a new workspace and start over or reopen the design. So feel free to try the buttons to learn about them. Notice that after the undo and redo, this is a on-off button for your properties box. Your properties box is over here on the right, and when I click on the button, that properties box will go away. Perhaps if I open an embroidery design, you'll see the benefit of that. So I'm going to open up this folk art embroidery design so that you'll see the sewing sequence of the design and how when I open up my properties, I would have the ability to enter design notes. This is the design that we did on the blue shirts, or whatever you want to type in there. You can even see information about the design, like its size and its number of colors and how long it would take to sew it at this specific speed. And so that properties box can be turned on and off with this button here. You just simply hide it or show it. Next to that is the program preferences option, and when I click on that, there are many different preferences that are unique that you can control about the software. And so we'll have a video that will go through the program preferences that you can watch specifically for that. Currently, you can see I'm 62% zoomed in, and there are many different ways to zoom. For example, I can use the wheel on my mouse, or I can use the magnifier on my toolbar to double click to zoom out and fill my screen, or single left click to zoom in, right click to zoom out, or click and drag to get a specific area. And that's the zoom tool, and then it tells me here how zoomed in I really am. This is a link to go to our Floriani Software Club, where you can watch all of the great videos about all of our great programs. This is a link to social media, and if you just really want to share the design you're working on with your friends on social media, there's a button for that. Just as an example, I don't always do that, and so we have the ability under toolbars to show and hide different aspects of the design, the program. And so if you don't want to see the social media tool, you can uncheck it, and now it's no longer on your workspace. And you can even click on the little dotted line in front of a toolbar and move it to place it anywhere that you want to. And so you're allowed to reorganize the tools of your workspace. These tools here, first of all, this is the slow redraw tool, which when turned on can simulate sewing your embroidery design for you. You can do that in the 3D mode, which is a turn on and off button over here on the right hand side. So now we're viewing an embroidery design sewing simulator while using 3D mode. And that's the slow redraw tool. Of course, I can pause that, speed it up, slow it down. You'll learn more about it in the other videos, but I can turn it off right here. So if you want to gain extra valuable sort of real estate on your workspace, you can hide tools that you're not currently using. The next one is an artwork tool. This is for drawing your own vector artwork. You have simple shapes like circles and squares and ellipses and hexagons. You also have a complex custom shape library where you can store all of your cool vector artwork and All of those tools there, that tool group, are really specifically for people with digital cutting machines that want to work in formats like SVG format. Over here on the left-hand side, down the left, you have your select tool. You have a lasso selection, so you can select by drawing a specific box around something. You have a shape tool, the magnifier, a ruler. With the ruler, I can easily just click and drag to take a measurement of how far is it from here to there, and how tall is it, and how big does that make this flower. You have the ability to display in three-dimensional stitches on, off, turn a grid on your screen on and off, which, by the way, you can adjust the properties of the grid in the program preferences. You can include an embroidery hoop on your screen on and off. And when you are displaying an embroidery hoop, you can use this tool to choose which hoop is being displayed or to rotate the hoop to a different orientation. Down below that, I have the ability to show and hide stitches. I also have the ability to show and hide needle points. And so perhaps if I turn off 3D and I zoom in drastically and turn on needle points, you'll see the difference, because now the software is highlighting each and every stitch point of the design. And so you can really learn a lot about the way your design sews by looking at them with different display patterns. After display needle points, you have close a shape. You have something that's called ghost for hiding things, and you have the display properties for your background. And so just as an example, if you wondered what would this design look like on a dark blue fabric, you can come to this choice right here, choose a fabric for your background, choose a dark blue fabric for the background, and now you can see what your design would look like when displayed on a dark blue background. And so that's a little bit more about the display and the properties. And this toolbar here, this has got your photo play tool, duplicate, color sort, auto-based, hoop or center in your ruler, and your flip and horizontal and rotate 90 degrees right and left. And so that's an orientation of all of the different tools that are available in the display and workspace for the Creative Express software.